Conservative media peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, a four-time national champion. Paul F. Villarreal is joining by phone. Now, we're talking about Tim Tebow, and we're talking about the new New York Jets Tim Tebow and the press conference that he had today. Paul, this was an impressive press conference. I mean, I think it was, in our personal opinion, first of all, personal opinion only. We're not allowed to, in fact, not casting Spurs, all for entertainment purposes only. Please check the disclaimers. This press conference looked like it was really filled with a lot of media there. I thought Tim Tebow did a phenomenal job of just being positive, answering all the questions. You know, he was, in my opinion, saying all the right things. And it looks like he just wants to come in there and contribute and you know, and in any role that he can. He's ready to play some football. Paul, what do you think of that?
I thought Tim Tebow absolutely was masterful today. Not only did he do a press conference for around 35 minutes,
I know.
He then went on and did a couple of I believe, lengthy interviews. One of them, like a 10-minute interview with Ed Warder of ESPN. So this guy was talking for probably around an hour straight.
Wow.
And from what I saw, I don't think he really didn't make any kind of mistakes. He handled himself beautifully. I thought it just came off just the way he wanted to.
Yeah, they were talking about, you know, John Fox and Elway and how that all went down, how the trade went down. What did he think about that? You know, was he happy with it and everything there? And he talked about his Denver teammates and gave credit to Denver and the Denver organization and the opportunity there and all the Denver fans, stuff like that. And he said, you know, look, you know, I'll whatever works better for you guys, you know, Jacksonville, you know, Jets, whatever. He was excited to be a Jets. They were asking about the pressure in New York. They were asking him about, you know, Mark Sanchez and are you going to be a backup there and the competition for the job. Also, you know, would he do other roles? And he's like, I'm a football player first. You know, he was giving props to Mark Sanchez, giving props to the Jets coaches, you know, and talking about the comfortability there and talking about Rex Ryan. And he was going through all the bases there. And like you said, he was sounding so positive to me. And he says that he likes pressure. He likes to compete. He wants to contribute in any way, I believe, is what he said. And again, this is all personal opinion only. This is my recollection of a paraphrase. I mean, Paul, to me, this guy seems so positive. And he seems ready to just go in there and do whatever it takes to contribute to this organization and get some W's for him.
It's amazing. It's really incredible when you think that this guy is a 24-year-old.
I know.
Who just got to the big city really for the first time. Denver's obviously Denver's a city, but it's nothing like New York.
Right.
And he probably took in the press conference around 25, 30 questions, and he just was, as you said, so positive. So upbeat, deflected all of the praise from himself onto Mark Sanchez and his Jets teammates, made it clear that it wasn't him that called this press conference, that, you know, the boss is above and the Jets wanted him to do it. That's why he's doing it. Just said all the right things. You know, mentioned that he's had a relationship already with Mark Sanchez. They're friends. He's friends with Rex Ryan. So it just sounded great. I know there was a lot of people, including allegedly Jets players, making anonymous quotes or just grumbling about, hey, why is the backup quarterback getting a press conference? But I just thought he handled it as well as it could have been done, and I think that it's just a net positive for him and for the Jets.
Look, Tebow, I think it was a super positive. I think Tebow handled himself incredibly well, showed a lot of class and poise and professionalism up there. Also was able to talk about, you know, his foundations and stuff like that and all the great work that they're doing, whether it's, you know, the hospitals and all the kids and that they're reaching out there. But also talking about, I believe that he, you know, might do something like that in the you know, New York area, you know, greater metropolitan area and stuff like that. And that's very impressive, and hopefully he'll do that. Bottom line for me is this. I don't care what Tim Tebow said in the press conference today, in my personal opinion. I think that Tim Tebow is going to have an enormous impact on this organization. And I would be surprised if this doesn't become the Tim Tebow Jets very, very soon. Why? Because the man is a winner and he's a champion. He talked about how hard he's working in LA and stuff like that. I believe with the coach at UCLA, you correct me if I'm wrong on that, Paul, in my personal opinion. And it's like, this is a man, in my personal opinion, that loves to compete, that wants to get better. He's only 24. Last year was his first year. This isn't about like, necessarily him versus Sanchez or anything like that, whatever. It's about, are there certain packages, are there certain schemes where he can come in there and contribute and help that team get some W's? Whether that's, as in the Wildcat, whether that may be as a fullback, whether that could be as some kind of gadgets or trick play, stuff like that. And at the same time, you saw, in my personal opinion, what he did to Denver and how many people were buying into that. And I think that you're going to have that kind of situation there in the Jets. I feel like this guy's going to win, take him to the next level. I think that Tim Tebow is very focused on football, and I think that when his teammates, whatever may or may not have been said by other of his Jets teammates, I don't know about that anonymously, not anonymously, whatever like that. I just know this: as a elite competitor, or former elite competitor myself, former world class athlete myself, it's like this: if someone's on your team and they can help you win, the bottom line for me is this: if someone can come on your team and help you win, okay, particularly when you're a professional athlete, you're getting paid for that, and it's the difference between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs, and you can see that they are committed to you and committed to winning and committed to helping your team get to that next level. I think at some point here, even the biggest skeptics are going to buy into that if you're on that team. And I think it's the same for the fan base. I think that the New York Jets, think about this, New York Jet fans. How long has it been since you've been at the top of the mountain there with Namath and all that type of stuff? How long have you had to endure the New York Giants over there and, winning over and over again and getting Super Bowl championships while you're sitting there on the outside looking in? Now you have an athlete here who's committed to winning, who wants to win. And I feel like, if Tim Tebow can show that and can contribute and it can get the wins, I think that the New York Jet players and I think the New York Jet fans are going to be all aboard Tebow Mania and that Tebow train. Paul, do you agree with that?
I completely agree with that. I was watching ESPN after the press conference, and they were talking with former NFL players, Mark Schlereth, Damian Woody, who was actually a former Jet. And Mark Schlereth said basically what you just said. Look, guys don't care about anything. They don't care if you're a good guy or a bad guy. They just want guys that can help them win and get things done. And I totally agree with that, which is what you just said. Now, some people think that Tebow doesn't fit that profile, but we don't agree with that. I think
Tebow's a winner.
There have been so many versions of what supposedly happened in Denver last year and how much Tebow was responsible for it as opposed to other factors. Here's my version. My version is that the team was 1-4 when Tim Tebow got the start. Got the starting quarterback job. And he completely, by himself, essentially, changed the mentality of the entire team. In other words, guys on defense started playing harder. Why? Because they believed Tim Tebow could lead them to victories in close games if they could keep the game close. Guys, the running backs started getting bigger holes and less focus on them because the opposing defense had to keep their eyes on Tebow. I've heard people say, Willis McGahee was the key to the running game and the defense carried Tebow. Skip Bayless, who is a big Tebow fan, said on ESPN today, and he was right on.
Tell me.
The Denver Broncos defense was ranked 20th last year.
Yeah.
This isn't an elite defense. And it's like now Tim is going to a team that has a top 5 defense. So if you don't think that he can get stuff done to any doubters or haters, I think that's just way off. I think that Tim Tebow has a personality, an aura, and everybody that's interacted with him, that has known him, people that knew him in Florida, people that knew him in high school, people that have played with him in the NFL, they all say the same things. It's unbelievable how much people buy into Tebow, believe him, and get motivated from him. That infects the whole team. It's the opposite of a lot of what goes on, or seems to go on in modern athletics, where guys are about their own agenda and about this and about that. Tim wants to win. That's the first thing, that's the only thing, and he goes all out and gives everything to that. and the guys around him know that. And it's infectious, and I think the same thing's going to happen with the Jets, regardless of whether he's the backup or the starter, because he's going to be getting snaps. Now, I think Rex Ryan or the owner said, yeah, we intend to play Tebow 20 snaps a game. That's like a third of the snaps. So if he's in there and has the ability to make an impact on the game, then his teammates are going to understand, in my opinion, what he's all about, and that's going to help lift the Jets to the next level.
I love it. I think he's going to lift them to the next level. I don't think it matters. I agree with you, Paul. I don't think it matters if Tim Tebow was the kicker or was on special teams or whatever. His leadership, his will to win, his teamwork, I think is going to infect and affect this team from the top down, in my personal opinion, or the bottom up. And I feel like people are going to have to deal with it and step to it and step up to that level and situation. Not unlike what we've seen with Jeremy Lin and what he's been able to do with the New York Knicks, with coming off of the bench and the couch, and now, in my personal opinion, into the NBA penthouse on superstardom, NBA superstar situation over there, because of his will to win, his competitiveness, his ability and desire to become better and better as a player. And Jeremy Lin has, his haters and deals with the New York media, in my personal opinion. And Tim Tebow is going to have his haters, and he's going to deal with the New York media as he did today. And I think that, that Tim Tebow is going to absolutely really contribute to this team. And I really believe, as we said before, that there will be this synergy between Tebow and Jeremy Lin that will take both of them to a whole different level and situation. So whatever, the haters might think, or whatever the New York media might think, whatever the other Jets teammates might think, Tim Tebow, I believe, is going to change and rewrite the whole situation and the rule books there in the New York Jets organization, not in terms of being disruptive, but in terms of being productive, and in terms of showing a level of competitiveness, of teamwork, and excellence that maybe that organization hasn't seen for quite some time. And I think you're just going to have to deal with that. Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think that some people genuinely don't understand what the Tebow phenomenon is, so they don't understand what kind of effect he can have on a team in a positive way. I think there are other people who might want to see him not do that great. Unfortunately, everybody has guys they like or don't like in various sports, and I think some people are just hoping that, maybe he wasn't going to get a real good chance or a real good shot. But it seems like the Jets will give him a chance. They will let him do some things, and that's one of the things he mentioned in the press conference was that, I like this situation because the coaches believe in me.
Yeah.
Right.
How about that?
That's not necessarily the kind of situation he was dealing with in Denver, because he wasn't the guy of the John Fox and John Elway regime. He was drafted by Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels got fired. He was gone, so it's kind of like the holdover from the last regime. And I know a lot of people felt like maybe Tebow wasn't given a fair shake from the Denver brass. So he doesn't feel that way. He's going into a situation now where he is going to be given a fair opportunity. The coaches do want him, so I think it's great. I think it's great,
and I think if you are a New York Jets fan, you have to love this, and here's why. Even if you're a Tebow doubter or a Tebow perhaps hater, here's why, Jets fans. Because last year, in my personal opinion, a lot was expected of the New York Jets team, and I believe that they had a lot of talent there to do a lot of things that maybe they didn't get done. And here you have a situation where, the New York Jets brass and coaching staff is saying, you know what? We're willing to think outside the box. We're willing to bring someone on this team that can contribute. We're willing to do something different. Even though we have, a good quarterback in Mark Sanchez, we're willing to try something different, whether it's the Wildcat, whether it's splitting the snaps, whether it's fullback with Tim Tebow, whatever it might be, to win. to take it to the next level, to give the fans what they want, which is a championship, which is wins, and which is exciting, entertaining football. As a fan, you have to love that. As a fan, if you're a New York Jets fan, you have to be sick in your stomach to seeing right over there your crosstown rivals, even though you might support them, of course, against other teams, in the NFC, whatever like that. But they're getting all the Super Bowls. They're getting all the championships. They're, and that's making you, as a New York Jet fan, in my personal opinion, to some degree, punked out. Punked out. I mean, you were going to have all the glory last year, and then it was all to the New York Giants again. And so now at least they're making moves in that front office. They're making moves to try to improve this football team, to try to get a fire and competitive spirit in it. And look, that may be the best thing that ever happened to Mark Sanchez. Take his game to the next level and be able to win when it absolutely counts, dude. And get the wins that you're supposed to get. That kind of situation. And if not, then you have a proven winner, in my personal opinion, in the backup role there, or in a starring role, if you will. You have another QB that can get it done with Tim Tebow, who is going to go in there and focus on those wins and be focused on football. That's what I'm saying to you. So if you're New York Jets fans, I think you have to be very excited about this. And I think Tim Tebow handled this press conference absolutely beautifully. What do you think about it? You tell me what's going on. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe up. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion. That is Paul at Villarreal. We are Conservative Media. Please rate this video up. Also, please share it on your social networking sites. You're watching Conservative Media. We will see you next time. Thanks for watching.